All right. Well, we just listened through Villain of the Story's Divided album for the first time, and so now we are going to talk about it. We're going to discuss it, take turns telling our thoughts, and then take turns telling our ratings. So Jordan, what were your thoughts of this album? For your first time ever
Uh,
hearing this band?
hmm. That's pretty good. I really like the first half a lot more than the second half.
Mhm.
Uh, but I can't fault them. I can definitely see why they put like all the heavy songs at the beginning, just to kind of grab you, and then they can show you what they really want to do, I guess.
Right.
Or maybe I don't know. Maybe they wanted to get more heavy. Maybe that was like an afterthought. I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah. Uh,
Something.
I feel like I like this more than like what was it? What the fuck was Secrets and
Yeah.
like Limbs. Well, maybe not
Limbs.
Limbs too, but like I feel like I don't know. There was just something about it that it was still generic, but like I don't know, it was a little bit better
It
than
more of like a
maybe.
catchier, like it kind of grabs
Yeah,
you a little bit more. Um,
yeah, it's a little bit more epic. I want to say, not like Secrets, where it's just
yeah, just
kind of just like it
uh,
was just
uh,
generic to the for the sake of being generic. Because I guess maybe it's just easier to write. But yeah, for whatever reason, it just grabbed me a little bit more than those other ones. Maybe it's the production, because the production on uh his voice was like really good on both of their voices actually.
you know,
Other than other than the screaming vocalist, like sometimes his vocals were a little bit buried, but I can also see where they're coming from. They probably want to like still have it in there, but like still make it sound a little bit more accessible.
yeah. See, so
Like with
I I.
yeah.
I don't want to interrupt you here, but I just wanted to. About like how you said, how it's like kind of different in the second half, and so I'm sitting here thinking, I was thinking of like what to say, and I think it kind of feels like at times it's like two different EPs. Like it's like the first half sounds totally like it's literally those first four songs, and then the second four songs. Like they're two totally different vibes on each one.
I mean, it is
And
called
yeah,
Divided with
and
like
then I'm sitting here looking at this, and it's called Divided, and there's literally like a split line of these two like little factions. And so I'm
yeah, you
wondering
got
if like that's
Negan
on
and then the White
purpose.
Walkers there.
Yeah, I was wondering if that's who the fuck that was. Like, is that Negan? Um, yeah. So like, I wonder if maybe that's like the point. Like maybe there's more of like deeper in the lyrics. Maybe it's kind of like a concept thing. I might have to like deep dive or ask one of the members of the band or something. So I'm wondering if that was kind of on purpose that it's literally split kind of like that.
Also,
Just
yeah, I mean, that's also kind of just like I don't know, maybe to justify it being that way a little bit
right.
more. I mean, but I mean that's the thing is they're thinking about it more and they're being clever with it. They're not just kind of like doing it to
Yeah.
just do it.
Just yeah.
If you're gonna make it
Getting some
generic, kind of
songs.
put more into it to make it a little bit better. But yeah, um, I mean, I can't really talk too much about like the guitars. The guitars were pretty fine. They had a little couple cool riffs in there here and there, but it was mostly just like epic chorus kind of sounding things.
Yeah.
Uh, I really like the drums on this. The drummer was really good. He played a lot of like just cool kind of fills and stuff in there, just to kind of change it up. He didn't really just play like straight on the whole time. I like that they just kind of threw like that breakdown at the end of that one song, and also
Yeah.
with the chorus outro with the other song earlier
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
That
How
was really good.
it sounded like a pre-chorus, but then it just kind of like stopped, which is a good thing. Sometimes
Yeah, not
you
a
don't
lot
want too
of
many
other
choruses.
generic bands do that.
Yeah.
So I feel like they put a lot more thought into it than it kind of seems.
Hmm.
So I'll bump it up for that. Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. Also, I kind of wish they would have leaned more into like that electronic stuff that they had in that one song.
Yeah.
Like in the outro, that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Maybe if they could have started out the next song with kind of like a little fade in,
Hmm.
like a little electronic.
Kind of reminds me of like Crown the Empire's old stuff too, a little bit.
I never really listened to them all that
Um,
much because I
I
don't
never
like
did
them.
either till I met Tana. Tana loves. But anyways,
Yeah, it's pretty solid. Yeah.
yeah. You know, like I said, this kind of it surprised me. You know, I had so uh the only song I had ever like checked out was this one, the Don't Go. I'd like kind of skimmed through it, you know, to see, you know, if I would want to, you know, do a review. And you know, I was like, oh, you know, it kind of just reminds me of like, you know, like I said, our last night's newer stuff, you know, just kind of more poppy metalcore. So it's like that'd be interesting. So when it started playing this, and then you've got those four, like it's literally like four heavy songs at the beginning. Really took me by surprise. Was not expecting that at all. Um,
Yeah.
so I really liked that they did that. And you know, like I said, it was very 2011 to like 2014 like throwback. It was like very, you know, woe is me. Um, you know, shit like that. And they did it really well, and I definitely had fun with that. And then of course, you know, so for some people, you can see that the album is kind of split. You know, it's divided, um, with the second half being more. It's kind of more of the modern, you know, generic metalcore sounds, where it's, you know, a lot more like kind of alternative based. You know, you got kind of like the Breaking Benjamin a little influence in there, you know, which isn't
Hmm.
anything wrong. Breaking Benjamin's a fucking great band. Motionless White borrows a lot from them too, you know. Um, and
They got
again,
breakdowns.
yeah, and generic's not. It's not always a negative term. When I use it, I think, like I said, I think generic is is
It's
necessary.
more of a sound.
Yeah, it's a sound, and it's necessary sometimes. You have to have a you have to have a you have to have a baseline, you know, and and so I think they pulled off those sounds really well. It is kind of weird that, you know, the first half is completely different than the second half. Again, I want to know. I'm curious if that was, you know, intentional. It seems like it was. Uh, it would have been cool if it was more like telegraphed. You know, if there's, you know, it was more of a concept thing and they like really showed that. I think would have played more on that. But the fact that they did play on a little bit is still pretty cool. You know, the fact that the album's literally named United. And um but again, you know, and even the production was weird because the production in the first half sounds totally different from the production in the second half.
Hmm.
So it's like all intentional. It seems like, so it's really interesting. But again, you know, I did think it took me by surprise. It really did surprise me with those first four tracks. Um, and then the other four were still like pretty good at the same time, you know. So not too many complaints, honestly. Again, it was only 8 tracks, 30 minutes, you know, didn't overstay its welcome, you know. If it was just, you know, 45 minutes of just the second half style of songs, I probably would have been a little bit more upset. But we got a lot of cool little like nuggets in there that I really appreciated. I think brought it up a bit. Um, so yeah, I think, you know, surprisingly heavy was really the takeaway for me here. I definitely enjoyed a lot of this, way more than I thought I would. So rating wise, Jordan, what would you rate this album?
Um, Here, let me go back to my thing here. Let's see. Cause
You look at what you
it was
gave
definitely
Secrets.
generic. It was definitely generic, but I definitely liked it more than those bands and
Yeah,
those other
like even
releases.
like
So
yeah, like even the generic more modern style stuff from the second half was still like catchy enough, you know, to really, you know, it had its own groove and was can still pull you in a little bit more than other stuff of that style.
yeah, I'll give it a 7.
No.
I'll give it a 7. I gave Secrets a 6, and I gave Cold Rain a 7. So I think I can give it a 7. It's pretty good. It was it definitely didn't have that one song that Cold Rain had that kind of ruined everything,
Yeah,
but really other than that all of it's pretty fine. So,
yeah.
yeah, it's pretty good 7.
I think I think I'm gonna give him a bonus point. I'm gonna give him an 8 out of 10. And, it was I think the fact that they caught me off guard so much with that first half, and then having the second half that wasn't uh just having the album wasn't that you know overly long or anything. It was nice, short, and something you could easily just like pop in, and listen to. Um, and so
They didn't do any third choruses.
yeah, they didn't do the third chorus bullshit. Bands stop doing two choruses, then a breakdown, and then another chorus at the end. Just end it after the breakdown, or like they did, have the little. It was like a kind of like an acoustic like version of the chorus, and then end it. Just stop. I think
Or don't even use
yeah,
the
these guys these
you
guys
don't
had
have to
some
use the
really cool
song
stuff.
structure.
Yeah. And so like I said, caught me by surprise. So I'm gonna give them bonus points. Sometimes I'll do that. So 8 out of 10. This, well above average, and I did really enjoy this. So I had a lot more fun than I thought I would. So 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10 over there. So that's very good on our scale. So great job
Yeah.
to villain the story. Great job.